Hey yo, what up? What up? It's your boy Ronnie Reacts, and we back with another one. Look, if you new here, I'm gonna tell you what to do here. All right, look, hit that like, hit that subscribe, yo, and then hit that comment section and show your boy some love.
How you do that? How you do that? Hear that? Yeah. Pussy
Yes, sir. So we back with another top 5 list, man. Look, I appreciate everybody who subscribed to the channel. I appreciate everybody who's showing love in that comment section. It means a lot to me, you know what I mean? So I appreciate y'all just tapping into the channel, you know what I mean? Leaving y'all comments and y'all suggestions in the comment section means a lot to your boy, all right? So look, if you ain't tapped in and subscribed yet, you slacking, all right? But look, today we back with another top 5 list, all right? Today we getting deep into this hip hop all right? We doing the top 5 hip hop albums of all time. I went in the vault, baby. I was on YouTube for the past day and a half just vibing. I said I wanted to do this video on Sunday night. I said I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna go listen to some music. I'm gonna vibe out. Because I wanted to make sure I get this list right, man. I've been breaking down my list so strategic, and I wanted to make sure that I had a reason for every album on this list. All right. So we ranking the top 5 hip hop albums of all time. All right. I want to hear y'all suggestions. I want to know what you think in the comment section. All right. So let's go. We starting with number 5. Boom. 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying. Listen, man, when we talking about as far as what albums mean to the culture, what albums mean to the people that are the fans, when this album dropped, I mean, you gotta admit, like it was such an energy when this joint dropped. I was in ninth grade when this album dropped. I remember. And I mean, I remember watching the DVD that came along with the album. Everybody knew every song. We knew the album cuts. We knew every verse. It was an amazing album. I mean, we all know that, but I think it's about looking at it from a perspective on a history level. This album is legendary and it goes down as one of the best albums in hip hop of all time. When you talk about the production, the features on this album, it was crazy. Like you got Eminem, Busta Rhymes, like I mean Nate Dogg. I mean this album is incredible from start to finish. So like we got to put respect on 50 name. It was such a hard album to follow up with that he was never going to really be able to live up to that album ever again. It made such an impact on the culture, and that's why I had to put it in the top 5 list. So listen, I got 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying at number 5. All right. Number 4. Boom. Dr. Dre, The Chronic. Look, man, like this album, when I go back and listen to this album and I go back and research it, I had to realize that, like, at the start of Death Row Records, you had Dr. Dre with a bunch of young, hungry artists looking for their big break. And, like, all of these artists literally came together to write verses and to give their input on this one album. So you had Snoop Dogg, Daz Dillinger, Corrupt, just everybody around Death Row, all giving that energy to one album. And like the Chronic, man, when you talk about again what it meant to the culture of hip hop, to the streets, to black people. I mean, it was just an amazing album in that time. And like, even though I was like, down there, baby, when the joint dropped, when I go back and do my research, I realize how much Dr. Dre made an impact in hip hop. And it really started from this album. Like this album goes down as one of the best albums of all time from start to finish. The production was damn near perfect. Each verse was damn near perfect because you had 6, 7 rappers writing a verse to this song, and the best verse made the album. So it was just incredible. So when you talk about start to finish classic, I got Dr. Dre, The Chronic at number 4. All right. Number 3. Boom. Lauryn Hill. The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Man, like this album, man. I mean, I remember when this album came out, I was a young kid, and I just remember that this album was incredible. And it didn't like I never heard anything negatively said about this album in my life. I have to be honest. I've never heard anybody ever say anything negative about this album, man. She had the song Doo Wop on there. She had the song Superstar, Lost Ones. I mean, from start to finish, man, this joint is just an amazing album. It's the best album ever dropped by any female of all time. I'm willing to go out on a limb and say this is the best album ever dropped by any woman in the world. That's how great this album is. It competes with men on any level, nigga. I mean, it's an incredible album. The harmonies, the verses, the cadences, the lyrics, the meaning of the songs, the emotion when she's rapping or singing. It's just an incredible album. If you haven't heard Lauryn Hill's Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, then like you really don't even understand like um how incredible of a gem this album is. I mean, every song has such a meaningful uh like such a meaningful like moment attached to it because like of what she was going through with the Fugees, what she was going through in her relationships. And I mean, like literally, man, I don't think she ever dropped another album. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like Lauryn Hill came through, dropped this album, and then just disappeared on some weird shit. Like she got so big to where I think she felt like this was such a classic album. She don't need to make any more music. Like that was crazy. It's crazy how Lauryn Hill moving out here. I'm gonna be honest with you. I love Lauryn Hill with all my heart. One of the most beautiful musicians of all time. I loved her in Sister Act. But I'm gonna be honest, man. She dropped this classic and just boom, just didn't care no more. You know what I mean? And like we really couldn't hold her to any standard because it was like this album was it was that good. It was like, all right, man, we're gonna give you a pass. We want more music, but I mean, we really don't know what to expect from it because it was such a classic album. I mean, it won Grammy on Grammy, it won award on award. I mean, it was in the top selling charts for most of that year. I mean, it just transcended different demographics and different ethnicities and backgrounds. It was just beautiful music, man. So definitely had to put Lauryn Hill at number 3. All right. Number 2. Boom. Nas. Illmatic. I mean, when you talk about the top rappers of all time, you gotta put Nas in the equation. You know that Nas is a living legend, and it really stems from this album for real. Like this is the album that set him apart, I think, in hip hop history from being like, yo, you one of the nicest from New York. And then when he dropped this, it was like, you might be the nicest ever for real. Like when we looking at it from a perspective of putting bars together and spitting rhymes and giving us songs that are going to mean something every single time we listen to it. Like Illmatic is such an incredible album, and it really is timeless, man. Like the music and what he's spitting is just, you feel like you're listening to a true ghetto genius, like express his background and his history and what he went through in such an intelligent and intellectual way, but still grimy and street at the same time. It lets you know that there are geniuses walking around in the ghetto. Like it's pure geniuses that may see the world different from you, but can artistically express themselves in a manner that is just rare. And that's what Illmatic is. Illmatic is a piece of art. It's a work of art. And it's such a legendary album that it was hard for me not to put it number one, to be honest with you. And I think that this album just, it means a lot to me because I remember my uncles listening to it. I remember my older cousins listening to it. I remember when Stillmatic dropped, and that was more of my age range when Ether dropped. One mic. I'm younger than high school. I'm discovering new hip hop. So when I heard Stillmatic, I was like, man, this dude is really incredible. And then I got put on back to on Illmatic, like, yo, you gotta go back and listen to the old joints. And that's when I realized I took a real appreciation for Nas for real. And like when you listen to that album, um, I think you realize that like this dude is incredibly talented, incredibly gifted. You know what I mean? With something that's rare. You don't find that in everyday walk of life. So like I think Illmatic helped Nas set itself apart from other rappers with this album. But then in all actuality, it just set hip hop a little bit ahead as far as like a real genre where it's not just about just some gangsters shoot 'em up, bang bang shit. It's some real storytelling in this genre. And like that's why I had to put Illmatic from Nas, at number two. All right. So look, drum roll. The top hip hop album of all time. Boom. Tupac. All Eyes on Me. It's a double disc from start to finish, man. The first CD is just full of bangers, man. You listening to Tupac at his rawest form, going through life, wanting to separate himself from everybody in hip hop, wanting to give you guys such music that is going to make him transcend from just a hip hop artist to the likes of Frank Sinatra, Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder. Like he was making himself a legend with this album. And when you go back and listen to this album and you hear the emotion, the pain, like you hear everything that he's saying that he's going through, that you're able to go back and watch him go through it. And then when he's rapping about it and you're hearing the emotion, man, this album made you believe everything Tupac ever said. Like he believed it and it made you believe it. You know what I mean? And like this album, when you talk about it being a double disc, you gotta account for that. You know what I mean? And it's two discs full of great music that is obviously timeless. Like this album still resonates and hits like damn near 30 years later. You know what I mean? Like it's an incredible album. I doubt that there is another double disc hip hop album that is better than this. And so when you look at the fact it was a double disc and then it was just double the amount of hits on this joint, I really don't see how it can be outdone by any other hip hop album. I mean, Tupac's work ethic was just incredible. His imagination, his passion was unmatched, and the way he was just honest in his music, I think it opened the doors for artists of today to be able to express themselves in such an open manner and be transparent to their fan base. And I think Tupac started that with being vulnerable and not just being the tough guy all the time, like showing a little bit of sympathy to his mother's struggle, showing sympathy to single mother's struggle, like Brenda got a baby, and things of that nature that like branded his scope of just being the dude from the hood. Like you can tell, like this was a man that even though he was young, he had experienced a lot, and so that's why this album, man, it just to me is just unmatched. There is no better hip hop album in my opinion. I think a lot of people got a lot of better songs, but when you talk about a collaborative work of art, I think it's hard to beat, Tupac, All Eyes on Me. But look, I am definitely interested in what y'all think on this video. Leave your comments in the comment section. If you got some of these in your choices, let me know. Rearrange them, you know what I mean? Add your picks, take mine out. Let me know what you think. I definitely took my time to feel like I wanted to come up with a good list. I feel like a lot of people are going to appreciate my list, but at the same time, I definitely want to hear from you guys. So look, drop your comments below in the comment section. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell too. I try to drop 2 or 3 videos a week. So y'all tap in, show me some love. All right. So look, until next time. Peace.
How you do that? How you do that? Yeah. Pussy gang.